Hello, everyone. I figured I would give everyone a quick recap and kind of like a preview of where we are on Crafty 4.0. We are currently in Alpha 2. There has been a ton of work that went into Alpha 2. A lot more is slated for Alpha 3 and 4 before we get to Beta. Alpha 2 is where the patrons will start getting a snapshot release of, kind of where we're at. The rest of the public will have to wait until we get to Beta. Anyway, so we are currently in the polishing phase, so that's why the Git branch is set to polish. So let's go ahead and start this up. You'll notice I'm inside a virtual environment. Python main.py. And she launches up. Now notice that we have two servers running here, two web servers anyway. We have HTTP and HTTPS. This is in response to a lot of people who needed Crafty to run on HTTP because of a reverse proxy or some other reason why they didn't want a secure connection. And then of course the normal secure connection is there. Notice that the port has changed, so 8000 is now non-secure and 8443 is secure. That goes with the standard for most places nowadays. So anyway, we will now get started. So notice also it grabs the IP address and not the host name. So that's helpful for everyone. So when we first log in, let's go ahead and log out actually. So when we log in, you'll notice admin can be small now, doesn't matter which, and the default password is Crafty. So this is the server wizard, basically. It will do a couple different types of server creation for you. You can import from a zip file, so you can just, tell it where your zip is, and it'll automatically do the pull. The theory there is, you're going to upload the zip to your server, and then tell it where your server zip is. Don't really want to upload 3.5 gigs through the web page. I mean, we could, but it's just better for you to just get into your server and push it somewhere. Anyway, importing an existing server. If you have a server already in like var op server, for instance, this will automatically move it to where it needs to go. And by moving, I mean it's because Crafty is no longer going to store servers outside of itself. It's not going to store servers inside itself. So if you look here, you'll see we now have a servers folder. And it's empty right now because there's no servers. But we'll go ahead and download a server, which is the kind of the cool part. So you can go here and we'll just say we're looking for paper. Notice we have a lot of servers available. This list will honestly be trimmed down a little bit. It's a little long, and some of these servers we're going to remove because of various reasons. But the big ones will be there, like paper, but velocity, all those. We're just going to leave this the way it is. 1 gig and 2 gig max, and we're going to say build my server. This will automatically download the server for you. And it will create a unique ID. And in there you'll notice that the EULA is already created for you. You don't have to worry about that. And our properties automatically sets the server port to the correct port. And of course there's that, and craftymanage.txt just simply says that we are using that directory and to leave things alone. So with that, we will go ahead and click start. It'll start. We'll just give it a second here. And now you see our CPU load. We see our memory load. We're using very little. We can drill down into it. And you'll see that the terminal is now color coordinated. We have color highlighting, so warnings will show up much easier for you. Of course, this is letting us know that everything's done, ready to roll. The server is online. The server was started there, and you'll see that the server uptime is now calculated in hours, minutes, and seconds, thanks to Lucas. The CPU load is here, and this will refresh eventually. Here we have, you can't click start because it's already started. you could click this restart, and there's stop. You can also do your commands from here. And that's, of course, going to complain because I don't need the slash. So, and also you notice up grabs the last command, which is awesome. Same as it used to. We're going to go to our logs, and here again are the logs. But here you can scroll back and don't have to worry about it refreshing constantly and stuff, which is helpful. Notice that we have some highlighted words here, chunks and help. These are configurable. So if you go into Crafty app config.json, we'll open it with Codium. You'll see that we have keywords that you can highlight. So you can highlight any word you want. You could highlight your server name, your admin name. Your cookie secret is set to random. You can set this to whatever you wanted. This is helpful for load balanced situations. Also, if you don't want to be logged out after a certain amount of time, this way the cookie will expire after 30 days, but you can set it to 99 or 900 and whatever, or do whatever. We have a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to read them all, but there you go. You can also change your ports here as well. So we'll close that out. Notice the session.lock. This is there so that you can't accidentally run Crafty twice. If for some reason it complained, you simply go here and delete that file. Or you can hit Crafty, I think it's Python main.py-i will override that. You can also default.json. You can actually set your username and password for it in a JSON file when it first loads up. So if you're deploying Crafty, you can make a default.json and then fill in your username and password, and it'll automatically be deployed that way. So you don't have to worry about changing passwords. Good for people who are hosting servers for other people. Anyway, moving along. So scheduling and backups are still not working. If you go there, it's just going to kick you back to the terminal. But the files has been completely rebuilt. This is all Lucas, and you'll notice that we have some syntax highlighting here. So you can see that everything is nice and highlighted. It's much better than our old system. We're probably going to tweak this a little bit so that it's easier to resize and whatnot. But this is much better setup for people who want to actually do it. And it's got collapsibles and stuff. So it's a full-on code editor built into Crafty, which is huge improvement over 3.2. Also, you can see that you can now go into your folders much easier because they're collapsible. Again, this is all Lucas. Did an amazing job. I really can't say enough about it. So, quite awesome. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to be tweaking this just a little bit. But let's say, for instance, you click a jar file. You cannot load a jar file. So it's just going to say no. But things that you can load will be there, which is helpful. And our EULA, of course, is there. Server properties, you can change this. Of course, it's a .properties, so you can still edit it, but it's not a supported language because .properties, that the code editor doesn't understand what that is. Here's our config page. So we have all the things about the config. You can see here that the server name is direct path directly to it. Server log location is there. This is important for people who run Bungee and all the other stuff. You can just tell Crafty where the log file is and it will automatically grab it. No more having to set up links and do all that fun stuff. Here is our command executable. So if you want to change your execution line, you can. The whole pre-argument, after-argument thing was a little difficult for some people. So we just decided to give you access to the full command. This is the command you run. When you stop the server, you'll just click. this is the command that will be used to stop it. I think Bungie uses exit or something like that, so this can be overdone. The server auto start delay is set to 10. Currently it's off. Crash detection is much better now. We fixed it. Um, and this is where your, the IP address and all that jazz is. You can't delete the server because it's, currently being run. It is recommended not to change the paths because changing the paths can break things. Okay, but if you know what you're doing, that's great. Notice that everything has to be owned by the user Crafty. So these are the commands that you would need to run if you needed to change that, because we often answer that question a lot. We also have a few other little things here on the side. So you can go to documentation, and that'll open up the wiki right there, built into it. Discord, of course, that takes you to the Discord. Credits is everyone here who has worked their butt off in some way, shape, or form on Crafty. And we also have some of our patrons here. I'm going to be updating this, of course. We have much more patrons now. Language translation, we're still working on. I'm fluent in sarcasm, so I've got a lot of things I have to do there. We also have a way for you to contribute, so you can click to become a patron. If you just want to give a random donation, you can. Now notice that PayPal calls this a donation, but it's not a charitable donation yet. I say yet because we are in the process of setting up a nonprofit to help protect Crafty, and also because it'll be a nonprofit, that means that you can write off any donations given to Crafty off your taxes. So if you gave $100 to Crafty, you can write that off and things would be wonderful. Of course, you can just volunteer time. The support people are all unpaid, which I don't understand how they're able to do that, but they are. And yes, so back to our dashboard, and this updates relatively quickly. Now you'll see that all this is there. We have our online. This is trash data right now, but it will eventually be correct. This stuff is correct, but the players count and the backups, not legit yet. This is going to be an update notification that will turn red if there is an update available. This is our panel config. So these are all the users and the roles. You can add a new role. Okay, so you can see here, you can give this role a name, and then you can check the box to see if they have access to that server. Another feature everyone asked about was, can we make it so that people can only see certain servers? Yes, you can in 4.0. We are still working on it, and that's broken, so don't click that. Oh, it's horribly broken now. I found a bug, sir. Okay. The API token is going to be fixed differently. Allowed servers right now is set to nothing, which somehow is everything. We're in the process of fixing this still, so this area is very rudimentary. It's not got a lot of polish yet, but this is where you can change your passwords, what roles they are, if they have access to certain things. You can regenerate their key, you can set their super user. It gives you more information, like the last time they logged in, which is kind of helpful. Last time they were updated, last IP address that was used to log into it, also kind of cool. And there's other things, but we'll get into that later. So if you're inside and you're probably thinking, well, Phil, that's all great and wonderful, but these servers having this really weird unique ID, how do I know what's what? Well, right here, it'll show you your unique ID for that server. We did this so that you can rename servers now. If you notice under the config here, you can set this to whatever you want, and it doesn't care about it anymore because it looks at the unique ID. So we are at how many minutes? 15, close enough. And of course the logout and activity page is kind of cool because this shows you all of the cool things that has happened. So kind of like an access log, but better. So like here you can see the admin logged in. You can see the IP address that did what action. So this is good if you, for some reason, your account was compromised. You can see what IP address they were at, and you can totally report it to the feds. Do not go hack them. I repeat, do not go hack them. I would, but that's me. Um, yes, so this is everything. I think I've covered everything. Pretty much. Yes. Yes. I will shut up now. We're at 15 minutes, which is probably the shortest video I've ever done in my life. Maybe. Anyway, so yes, that's Crafty 4.0 where we're at now. Like I said, patrons will get this much sooner than the rest of you. Patrons, it's coming quickly. I've got time for this week and next week for me to be able to knock this out. So maybe in a couple weeks you guys will have a link to go download 4.0. If you share that link, I will find out, and it will be a bad day for everyone. That's not an ultimatum or anything or a threat. It's just the way it is. Oh yeah, you can hit stop here. I'm going to stop rambling now. I have not had a lot of sleep, so when you hit stop, it'll do its stopping thing, and then from the terminal here, which we have to fix some of this. Yeah, we have to fix a lot of this actually. It's spamming a lot. Anyway, you just type in exit, and it will automatically stop everything and shut everything down all nice and pretty. Okay, now we're past 15 minutes. Now we're at 16 and a half. I'm going to shut up now. Have yourself a good day.